Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, today, October 15th, is a day that Princess Cruise Line is changing their deposits. That's right. They're making a lot of changes today on their deposits, including when you book, it's going to go to a default that you may not want. And to say that it's a bit of a mess right now is kind of an understatement. So as of today, Princess is now going to be defaulting all of their bookings. So when you go in and you're just searching and clicking, including travel agents, by the way, when they go in and search for sailings, and it's going to default automatically to a non-refundable deposit. That's right. No longer will you basically be able to get a refund up to 3 months before your final payment is, before your cruise. Normally, what was happening with Princess, you would pay your deposit, but it would be refundable right up until 90 days or possibly 120 days, depending on the length of your cruise, automatically. Those were the majority of the sales. Well, they've changed that. So first off, let's talk about the deposits and when they are due. If you are booking now anything 13 days or less, your deposit is still 90 days. However, a 14-day cruise now will be 120 days. We just experienced that yesterday. We were booking somebody's cruise for 14 days and the deposit was a month sooner than we expected, meaning their deposit was actually due next week. Not deposit, sorry, the whole amount. Final price was already there. So that's one of the changes. The other changes is now their non-refundable deposits. Like I said, it is now defaulting to that. And I can see right off the bat that the majority of the prices of the deposits are kind of gone up as well. And that can also vary depending on the length of your cruise, how much more your deposit's going to be. So let's say, as an example, I was looking at a sailing going this February out of Fort Lauderdale. So if I was to click on the booking and I'm looking at the default setting, which is a non-refundable deposit, it comes in at $342. If I was to switch that around, and remember, because it's in February, my deposit's due, like the final payment's due in November. So only a month or so away. So now I'm thinking, well, that might be the better deal because chances are I'm not going to cancel. But if I'm booking a year and a half, 2 years out, I might want that flexibility to be able to change my cruise, right? Because this new non-refundable also means you can't just change your cruise. You can't call in and say, oh, by the way, I decided not to go on the December 6th cruise. I want to go on the December 13th cruise. I just want to move my booking over. Sure, you can move your booking over, but you lose your deposit. You got to put a new deposit down. So that's catching a lot of people off guard now. Now remember, that's only for bookings after starting today and later. Now, if I decided it's a longer cruise and I wanted to do that refundable deposit, and there's a little button down the corner you can click, and that brings the payment up to $686. That's my deposit for this cruise. So pretty close to double what it would be with the non-refundable deposit, right? So you have to really think, is it worth that extra money? And remember, if you're into the suite category or you're on a longer cruise, those deposits can be even longer and higher. So I was looking at that, but then currently, they are also offering, if you look at the discounts, it says 50% off the non-refundable deposit. That's a promotion going on right now. So only the non-refundable deposit has that discount. So if I'm doing my math correctly, $342, double it, is $684, right? So if that promotion isn't there of 50% off, that means your non-refundable deposit would be $682 and your refundable deposit is $686, only a $2 difference. How does that make any sense to you? So you see how confusing and how big of a kind of a mess this is right now, right? Even looking at that, if that reduced deposit, now, is that going to be standard, a reduced deposit? We don't know, because Princess has come out with their statement and said currently bookings are being offered at a 50% reduced non-refundable deposit. Currently. Doesn't mean it will be there going forward for a long time. So this means you're really going to have to look when you're booking. You're really going to have to double check. Because, hey, if I can get all my money back for a difference of $2, that's a big difference than a difference of $342, right? And also, what's really funny about it is it says it's a 50% reduction in the deposit, right? So you're looking at that and it says it's $342. But then if you look over at the non-refundable deposit, it says it's an extra $137 per person. Well, 342 plus 137 plus 137 is $616. It's not $684. So even that doesn't line up with the pricing. Like at the 137 down there isn't factual, because the 137, when you add it all up, should be cheaper than $186 is what they're charging you when you actually click on the button. So that, of course, that could go for the Princess Plus, etc. And it's not calculating everything correctly. It's not giving you a full count, etc. But that's not even the other confusing part about it now. A lot of people, when you're on a Princess cruise or have had a cruise canceled or something, you get a future cruise credit, right? A future cruise deposit. Now, when you're on a Princess cruise ship, you can buy these. They're roughly $100 per person. And what this does is it overrides the deposit of your next cruise. So it goes in your bank, in your account sort of thing. And then when you're booking a cruise, so say you're booking a 14-day Mediterranean cruise, the deposit is $600. You use your $100 deposit and it overrides the $600. And now it's only $100. But if you book into that non-refundable deposit, guess what? If you cancel, no longer do you get that future cruise credit back like you used to. It doesn't go back into your bank account. It goes back into their money. You lose that future cruise credit if you book a non-refundable deposit. So even when you're on a ship and you're booking, if you're using a future cruise deposit, make sure you're booking the refundable deposits. Because first of all, the future cruise credit overrides the price. So if it could be a $600 deposit, doesn't matter for that non-refundable because it overrides that deposit. So it's not going to be as high anyway. But if you accidentally book into a non-refundable deposit, then you're going to lose that money if you cancel, or even if you transfer to another booking and change your sailing date. It's a complete mess, and they say it's all for greater flexibility of the passenger, etc. It's not. Let's be frank. It's for the reason of people are canceling their cruises around 4 months, 3 months before at the final payment dates. and now they're scrambling to fill the ships. That's the real reason. That's the reason they're putting this out there. It's not for our convenience, because the price hasn't gone down. If the non-refundable deposits prices went down this week, then we could all say, okay, well now we have a cheaper option because of this policy. No, the prices have all remained the same. So it's not a better convenience for us, because it would have been the same had they just kept the policy the same. The prices would have been the same. The only difference is now, if I want the refundable deposit, I'm paying more. So no, it's not for our convenience. It was a money thing, as all things are in business. I'm not blaming them for it. Other cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, they have these policies out there. So I'm not blaming them at all. This is a business decision. But boy, it's confusing right now. And I do not like the fact that it defaults to that right off the bat. And if people don't know, they're booking into these non-refundable deposits and don't even know about it, which is a pretty big benefit of having a travel agent, because they know these things. And well, even I got caught off guard on this, because they started this policy before the official date. They actually started defaulting it into the programs on their website when you're booking before the 15th, which really created a lot of mess. A lot of mess. So yeah, be careful when you're booking your Princess Cruise. Make sure it is exactly the deposit you want. Make sure if you're using future cruise credits that you can get them back. And if you have any doubts whatsoever, contact somebody and find out for sure. What do you guys think? Do you think this is just a money grab? It is. Let's be honest. It's a money grab. It's a protection for them, so they're trying to have less people cancel. Completely understandable, right? It's a business decision, but boy, it really is a mess when you're trying to book a cruise and you don't know what you're doing out there. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.